Hello and welcome to Coffee and Tarot with Mama T. I'm Teresa and I come to you this evening on the night before the full moon, the new moon, and I want to do a new moon reading with you. I've gathered together some of my favorite cards that focus on the moon and some cards about manifesting. So since the new moon is a great time to start manifesting or building on something new that you are working on. So I thought we would get together and pull some cards and see what Spirit has to say for us. I'll call in Spirit now, and we'll go ahead and get started. I thought we would start with, I am looking at this card, Moon Perception. And this card is from the Star Codes Astro Oracle. And this one, the Oracle deck just shows different astrological aspects of things that could be happening, or cards with different signs. And I just wanted to ground myself in the images on these cards. I pulled the Moon card and I'm looking at that, and it seems to be showing, it depends on how you're looking at it, but around the circle you can see the several different phases of the moon. Within the central image you can see the dark moon or the black moon. Then you can also see a crescent moon. So it kind of depends on how you look at it. And so I think it's just a good thing to look upon and think about as we're getting ready to read the rest of our cards. And then the Virgo card here, Digest. I like this card because we are entering into Virgo season, and Virgo, this image here shows these hands with wheat in there, and wheat can only be digested by humans after separating the wheat from the chaff. And that's a perfect thing for Virgo. Virgo is detail oriented and will be able to separate the wheat from the chaff. And it's a good thing to kind of ponder on right now as you're thinking about, what do I not want to take with me into this next phase of my life? What seeds do I want to plant and nurture and grow? So as you're thinking about those things, because the new moon it's exact, I think it's at 6:06 tomorrow morning on August 23rd. And so thinking about those things, don't make your new moon wishes yet. Don't start manifesting yet. Wait until the moon is new. And it is at, I just Googled it and it said 6:06, but I failed to look at the time zone. So could be, depending on what your time zone is. So you might want to look that up just to find out exactly when it is precisely new. And that's when, after that, anytime after that is when you want to start your manifestation, start making your new moon wishes, do your new moon ritual, whatever it is that you're thinking about doing. And then this other card here that I pulled from the Moonology Manifestation Oracle deck by Yasmin Boland. I mean, she is like, when it comes to astrology and the phases of the moon, she's an expert on this. And so this card here, New Moon in Virgo. This is the second new moon in the sign of Virgo. That's why it's called the Black Moon. And the phrase here, trust all will be well. So things to think about as we're getting ready to pull a few cards. I thought we would pull some, just a couple of tarot cards, maybe 3 cards, and see what Spirit has to say. What do we need to release? What do we need to manifest? Anything else? And guidance from Spirit, maybe. Let's look at those 3 questions. What should we be releasing? What should we be building upon or manifesting or growing? And any other guidance from Spirit? See what the cards have to say. And I'm using my deck that I'm using is the Druid Craft Tarot deck. And I'll put pictures of all of the cards and the decks right here before I post this video. This is just such a pretty deck. I love the brown backs. They're shiny, and I love the color brown. Years ago, my daughter told me she said, you have to buy clothes that are different colors, Mom. You gotta quit wearing brown. Brown is not my color. It's not good for me to wear, but I still love it anyway. Okay, let's see. What do we need to release before the moon is new? We get the Fool card. Okay, what do we need to release? So how are we going to release that? Let's think about that while I pull the other cards. Then the next one is what seeds do we want to plant? What do we want to manifest and grow when the moon is new? Well, I don't like that. I think we should flip these cards around, but we'll look at it. We get the 9 of Swords. And then guidance from Spirit. Four of Pentacles. Okay, so holding on to things, building stability. Okay, so releasing the idea of the Fool. That's what we want to release. Maybe there is something in our life where we have been feeling naive and innocent about, and we might need to open our eyes or grow up about it a little bit. That could be one way that we need to release that Fool energy. I'm going to think about this a little bit more as we go forward. And then what do we want to manifest or grow? And we get the 9 of Swords. The 9 of Swords, this is, I don't know how to call this a great card or something that I want to grow or manifest. 9 of Swords is a card of worry and anxiety. And it's not something that I want to grow, but maybe when I look at these two things together, the Fool is somebody who's innocent, energetic, trusting, and is just about to walk off the edge of that cliff, and just trust that everything is going to be fine. And then this card is one where there's a lot of worry, a lot of anxiety, and maybe Spirit is asking us to find the middle ground in between these two. And then the Four of Pentacles is sort of the middle ground. It's building upon stability, holding on to what you've got, being careful with it, and holding it close. So that might be the message from Spirit here. But let's get some oracles to see a little bit more. I have this card right here. This is also a Yasmin Boland deck. This is the Moonology Messages Oracle. So let's see what we get here. And I have the Power of Surrender deck that I wanted to pull a card from too. This deck is by Dr. Judith Orloff, and she, has all of these great things that this deck on things to surrender. When you know it's time to surrender something, which, right before the moon is new, is a great time to surrender. So we'll pull one of those too. Okay, let's see what the Moonology Messages Oracle has to say to us. What messages do you have for us, Spirit? There we go. Well, maybe it flipped over, but then kind of hit itself. Oh, yeah. Shadow work. The night moon, shadow work. So the time is right for shadow work. And this is something that I have been hearing consistently from other readers right now. It's something I've been feeling in my spirit messages that I've been getting from my spirit team, that shadow work, the time is right for shadow work. So I'm not surprised that we got this one. The night moon says, you're being asked to face your dark side. In terms of your current situation, be honest. What part of you are you ashamed of? What is triggering you right now? These were some of the questions the universe and the moon would like you to ask yourself now. We all have a shadow side, and yours needs looking at when this card comes up. The moon, when the moon is new, all we can see is the shadow. We can't see any of the light. We're on the dark side of the moon. And so I'm not surprised that we're getting a shadow work card. So additional meanings for this card, it says, accept yourself, shadow and all. See your situation through loving eyes. Release a grudge you have against someone. Try shadow journaling for more insight into your question, and forgive yourself and love yourself. So the shadow self is a concept introduced initially by the renowned Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung. It describes aspects of our personality that we reject and we repress. Sometimes we don't even know. Most often we don't know what's in our shadow. It's called our shadow because we can't see it. And so we may not have any clue that it's there. Sometimes if you have somebody who is honest with you and gentle with you, they might be able to tell you what's in your shadow, so that you work on that. But all right, well, that is interesting that we got that card this evening. Then let's do a Queen of the Moon Oracle from Stacey DeMarco. I love these cards. These are always very inspiring and gentle. Okay, what do we have for us here, Spirit? Focus. We get the Focus card. It's a beautiful card. She is fully immersed in this sphere of water. The sphere would represent the divine feminine, just as the moon does. The water represents her emotions, and then that butterfly is a transformation. Focus. This is a number 14 card. You must focus on the task at hand right now. There is no room for a scattergun approach. Put on the blinkers and do not listen to gossip or negative people. If you make a mistake, it is your mistake to make. Do not waste your focus. Do not split your attention into too many pieces. With us being in Virgo season, this is a great time for us to focus and notice the details. What we place our focused attention on matters. Placing our undivided focus on something means we are more likely to take action on it. We're more likely to finish something we wish to complete if we focus on it. We're more likely to plan and succeed in our achievements should we take the time to focus on how. Even something as simple as eating a meal is more enjoyable if we take the time to focus on just that, eating and all of its sensory rewards. What hinders focus? Diversion, and it is often diversions we set for ourselves or that we allow. When we are afraid of our own growth or our greatness, we may procrastinate. I can relate to that. We might place drama in our own way. We may even focus on everyone except for ourselves and never have the time to do the things we set for ourselves. Our heart's desires therefore never come to us. We might allow the opinions of others to get in the way, letting the criticisms and values of others affect us. This is useless. We need to forget about the gossip or opinions of others, about what our society says. Instead, turn your focus to you and what you are doing. Pay attention to you. You. We need to focus instead on what feels so deeply good to us, what we really want, and what we want to place our laser-like focus upon, and soon it will be ours. I like that message a lot. All right, so next up, let's do, we're going to do a few, I want to do one more idea of, around the idea of surrender or letting go, and then we're going to do a few cards that talk about manifesting. So the Power of Surrender cards from Judith Orloff. This will give us an idea of maybe something that we need to surrender. The collective we. What do we need to surrender, Spirit? What do we need to know? What's important for us to let go of before the moon is fully new? Surrender to what is. Flow with what is instead of fighting it. When you can't change a situation, compassionately accepting it exactly as it is will bring you peace. That is the truth. So look at that card and think about that feeling of giving in and surrendering to what is, and that sense of lightness that comes from acceptance. Now, let's talk about manifesting. The moon will be new in a few hours. It's just a matter of time. We're going to do a quick Super Attractor card from Gabby Bernstein. Give this card a shuffle. See what we have here. Okay, what do we need to attract now, Spirit? What does Spirit want us to know to attract? Believing in spiritual guidance gives me certainty and the freedom to keep dreaming, even when I can't yet see the result. I love that card. I love the purple cards. You don't see it very often in tarot. And there's, in the Rider-Waite, there's very few instances where purple shows up. So and this deck is, the box is purple, and so purple's my favorite color. So, okay, Mystic Manifesting Oracle deck. We'll go ahead and pull one of these cards, and then we'll conclude on a Modern Goddess Oracle card. Okay, what do we have for the Mystic Manifesting Oracle? What do you have to say to us, Spirit, through this message? Healing lack. Affirm that you have enough, you do enough, and you are enough. I have all I need. Okay. That and the lottery numbers. Thank you. All right. Our final card for the evening is Modern Goddess Oracle. This is by Ethany. I just started following her. I just discovered her on YouTube, and I love her sense of humor, and I love her cards. Look at that deck. It's gorgeous. This silvery gilded edges, and the colors on the cards are just, you know, bright and vibrant. Anyway, she's got a great sense of humor. She has some beautiful decks, which I'll be showing more of. And let's see what this Modern Goddess Oracle book has to say. Deck has to say for us as we close out this evening. Oh, they're just a dream to shuffle. Okay. The Mystic. We get the Mystic. This is our goddess to embody as we move into this new moon season and Virgo season. The Mystic. Trying to find it in here. LMNOP. Okay, well, it's not in that part of the book. Oh, it's back here. Okay, the Mystic. The key word is awareness. Symbols are a crystal ball, incense, and belladonna. Whoops, knocking over. I've got a little crystal ball up here. And belladonna. Affirmation is, I'm aware of my feelings, thoughts, and actions at all times. In many cultures, the mystic has an otherworldly aura about them. They seem to know so much more than everyone else. Some of that is due to their psychic and intuitive abilities, but much of it comes from their keen awareness of themselves and the world around them. The mystic stands with one of her scrying tools in her temple, ready to, pardon me, access her higher self and give herself the time to be present. She knows that the more aware she is about her lessons, triggers, and aspects of herself, the more she can heal herself and aid others on their own journey towards self-awareness. So, then there's other information in here, different suggestions on working with the mystic, meditating. It's a staple in spiritual practices for a reason. Ask a trusted guide or a mentor for feedback, and keep a journal with daily reflections in it. All of those things will help you to be aware and in your body and in your intuition. So we got some interesting messages here from the cards and from Spirit. We're being urged to clue into our intuition, understand our own shadow, and then move from naivety and balance it with this awareness. Don't live too far here. Don't live too far here. Build some stability. Manifest stability and security. And enough, manifesting that enoughness. Surrender to what is and focus your attention on what it is that you want to build and that what you want to create that is stable and secure. So I hope this was helpful for you. I hope that you enjoy your new moon rituals, whatever those may be. And I will see you in my next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.